Welcome back to a new AI tutorial. In this video, we are going to create a tool for PDF chatting using LangChain, Streamlit, and OpenAI API. Let's start coding. Okay, I'm going to be using VS Code as my code editor, but you can use any code editor that you want. And I have a PDF file for testing our app. At the end of this tutorial, I'm going to just upload this file in our app for testing if it can answer questions based on this PDF correctly. You can use any PDF document that you want. Okay, now I'm going to create app.py for start coding the app. At the first place, I'm going to start with imports. So firstly, I will say import warnings, and warnings, filter warnings, I will say ignore because I don't want to see any kind of depreciation or feature warnings at the terminal. And next up, I will say from .environment import load.environment. This is for getting the OpenAI API key from the environment file that we are going to be creating in this video. After these imports, we are going to load that environment variables in here. After that, I will say import operating system, and we are going to use this for setting the API key. We are going to import Streamlit for the web app. We are going to say from PyPDF2 import PDF reader for reading and working with PDF files. Then we are going to say from LangChain community large language models import OpenAI. And next up, actually like this. Next up, we will say from LangChain community dot vector stores import face. And next up, we will say from LangChain community embeddings import OpenAI embeddings. So this is for the large language model, this is for the vector store, which is created by Meta, and this is for OpenAI embeddings. We are going to turn the prompt into embeddings and search through the PDF. Next up, we will say from LangChain.chains import conversational retrieval chain, like this. And at the final step, we will say from LangChain.textSplitter import character text splitter. Okay, now I'm going to create an environment file in here like this, and in here we are going to say OpenAI API key, and you need to paste your API key in here. As I remember, they give you $5 if you register to the OpenAI API playground, but maybe it's removed, but the maximum amount that we are going to spend in this video is 10 cents. So you can just add $1 balance for following this video. Or if you have OpenAI API key before, you can directly use it. You can reach the website by typing OpenAI API playground, and you can take the API key from there, from my API key section. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste my API key in here and save this file. Then I'm going to be recording back on the app.py. Okay, let's continue. I set my API key. So I can close this Explorer and I will say load.environment like this. And next up, I will say operating system environment OpenAI API key is going to be operating system get environment OpenAI API key. It's going to be like this. And after that, what we are going to do is we are going to define a function for loading the PDF file. So we will say define load PDF, and we are going to be passing the file inside in here, and we will say reader is going to be PDF reader. We are going to initialize it like this, and we will pass the file. Next, we are going to create an empty string like this with the name of text. And right now, what I'm going to do is I will say for page in reader.page text add page extract text. And next up, I will say return text. So this is going to be the function that we are going to be using for the PDFs. Now we will code our app. So let's start with the title. The title is going to be PDF question answering app. And after that, I'm going to say Streamlit file uploader, and let's save it to something like uploaded file, Streamlit file uploader, I will say upload a PDF. And next up, I will say type is going to be PDF like this. Next up, I will say if uploaded file PDF text is going to be load PDF uploaded file. So in here, we are telling that if the user uploads a file, this if block is going to work and our code inside is going to go run one by one, and we are using the load PDF function at the start. Okay, next we will say text splitter, and we will use character text splitter, and in here I will set the chunk size as 500 and chunk overlap as 50. You can change these numbers based on your document. Like if you have a bigger document, you can just change the chunk overlap a higher value, for example, because maybe some information is going to be more important on the overlapping parts. Okay, next up I will say chunks, and it's going to be text splitter, split text, and I will pass the PDF text that I use my function to load on the uploaded file in here. Next I will say embeddings, and I will initialize the OpenAI embeddings like this. And next up I will say document search, and I will say face from texts, and I will say chunks and embeddings like this after this initialization. Next up I'm going to initialize the large language model. I will say large language model, and I will call the OpenAI like this. Model name is going to be GPT for mini, and let's set the temperature like 0 and maximum tokens like, let's say, 256. Okay, next up I will say Streamlit success and PDF loaded and QA system ready. Now after that we will say if chat history not in Streamlit session state, we are going to be managing the state like this. We are going to create an empty list in here like Streamlit session state dot chat history is going to be an empty list like this. And after this we will say question, and it's going to be Streamlit text input. Ask a question about the PDF like this. And next up we are going to say if question is asked, we will say result QA chain. And after that, actually let's firstly define the chain we have in here, QA chain. It's going to be conversation retrieval chain, and we will say from large language model like this. And large language model is going to be large language model that we initialize in here. Next up we are going to say retriever, and it's going to be document search as retriever like this. And now it is ready to go. And next up we are going to use the QA chain in here. We will say like inside parentheses we will say question is going to be the question, and we will pass the chat history, and it's going to be Streamlit session state chat history like this. And now we will say Streamlit session state chat history append, and in here we will pass the question and result the answer from it. Okay, and at the final step we will say Streamlit write answer, and we are going to say after the bold answer text result answer. Okay, now our program is ready. Let's summarize what we did in here, and then let's test our app. Okay, at the first place we do our import. We import data environment, operating system, Streamlit. We import LangChain OpenAI face, OpenAI embeddings, conversational retrieval chain. We use PyPDF2, we import the PDF reader, and then we load the environment file variables in here, and then we set OpenAI API key as our environment variable. Next up, we define a function for loading the PDF file, and we extract text for each page. Then we give our Streamlit app a title, and then we use Streamlit file uploader for the uploaded file, and if the user uploads a file, then we run our logic, like we use our function to load the uploaded file, then we use text splitter, and we have the chunks in here. After splitting the text, we initialize the embeddings and the face. Next up, we just initialize the large language model as GPT-4 mini. We create a conversational retrieval chain, and then we say if chat history is not in the session, then initialize the chat history as an empty list. Then we use text input, and we say ask a question about the PDF, and if the user enters something in the question, then we just run our chain and display the result with adding it into the chat history. Everything looks great. Now let's test our app. I will say Streamlit run app.py. And in here you can see that you can now view your Streamlit app in your browser, and you just need to go to this localhost address, and when you go to this address you are going to be able to use the app. So I'm going to be recording on this address on my browser right now. Okay, here is the app that we created. Now it looks really beautiful, and I'm just going to upload my file in here, the stock trading guide. And here it is. After that, we can see our success message, PDF loaded and QA system is ready. I will say, let's say, summarize this PDF file. And let's see our response in here. It says running at the top, and here it summarized everything in here. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to ask something about the PDF, like what are the stock types? And let's see our response. It says the different types of stocks are common stocks and preferred stocks. It says represent ownership in a company and a claim on a portion of profits, and offer fixed dividends and have priority over common stocks in case of liquidation. Everything seems perfectly. Let's ask another thing. Let's say give me give me information about managing the risks. So let's see the response in here. It says managing risks in stock trading is crucial for protecting your investments and ensuring long-term success. It says key strategies, diversification, stop loss orders, and position sizing, just like it's in the PDF file we have. Great. Also, let's ask the trading styles, let's say I'm just looking for PDF. What are the trading styles? And let's see what's going to be our response on this. Awesome, just like on the PDF. Day trading, swing trading, and long-term investing. Okay, great. Now it's our app. Thanks for watching. Let's get to the outro. Thanks for watching this AI tutorial. I have an AI tutorials playlist where I have more than 20 videos just like this one. You can reach that playlist from the cards of this video or from the links in the description. Also, I'm sharing a new data science video every week on my channel. You can subscribe for more videos like this. Have a great day.